Well, Michelle Grattan, good morning.
Good morning.
We are recording here in the concourse of the University of Canberra campus. It's a bushland campus. I imagine that some of the sound effects might include birds, drills, pneumatic hammers and possibly students coughing first thing in the morning.
And we can smell the bacon and egg.
Well, the big issue as we end this week is Qantas job losses. Do you think that Alan Joyce's will be one of the 5,000 that are said to be going?
Well, he says not, that he's been there 5 years, but he has a plan and he's confident that he can do more for the company. He's certainly a hustler when it comes to pressing for government assistance, but certainly he also has quite a lot of critics who think that he should go and that somebody else should be given a chance with the company.
Now, maybe you can help me, maybe you can't on this, but as I understand it, the frequent flyer program of Qantas is profitable, although it baffles me how anything like that could be profitable. The domestic business is said to be profitable, and every time I get on an international Qantas flight, it seems to be packed. Have you any idea how it's losing money?
Well, I think there are a number of causes, and I'm certainly not at all an expert in this aviation area. But on the international side, one of the problems is that Australians are just not using Qantas all that much to fly internationally. There are many other airlines competing in that area, and cheap flights, as we know, and it's just a case of customers basically deserting the airline, even though the flights that operate may be full.
Somewhere in the mix must be the cost base. We keep hearing about offshoring, and maybe the competitors have lower cost bases than Qantas can have at the moment.
Well, this has been a matter of discussion, and of course it's been noted that wages are cheaper for a number of overseas airlines. Now, what the government has been saying is that it's not saying that Australian workers shouldn't be well paid, but the fact of the matter is that when you're in competition with other airlines, this is going to affect the cost basis, so there have to be economies in other areas. Also, I think Qantas has been very anxious to maintain its 2/3 share of the domestic market, and that's led to it doing some uneconomic things in order to try and keep that up.
A day prior, the Drought assistance package was announced. Is the government going to be able to sell that and the idea that droughts are natural disasters whilst holding firm on industry assistance?
I think probably it can, because what it's saying is that droughts are in a separate category, as you say, natural disasters. It's not a question of a business which has not had any great calamity hit it asking for assistance. So there'll be some criticism, but basically I think that the government can hold the line on that.
And going back to Qantas briefly, as I understand it, Joe Hockey was minded to give assistance. Tony Abbott has ruled it out. Is this kind of apparent difference within the government going to weaken their position?
Well, it's been rather a strange story, because only a couple of weeks ago Joe Hockey, who of course is an economic dry and not keen on assistance to anything much, laid down various conditions, 4 conditions that a company would have to meet if there was a legitimate case for government intervention. And he said Qantas met all those conditions, and all the speculation has been that Qantas would get a debt guarantee from the government, and no government person was walking away from that or saying that's not right. And yet yesterday in Parliament, Tony Abbott was quite strong on saying, well, if you give aid to one company, you've got to give it to others, and making it clear that he wasn't going to go down that path. Why the change occurred, when it occurred precisely, what Joe Hockey thinks about it, the next few days I guess will tell, but certainly the narrative, as they say, changed quite dramatically.
And then finally, Michelle, the Commission of Audit is said to have reported, it's on someone's desk, Many departmental secretaries, in fact some Vice-Chancellors as well, are waiting with nervous apprehension. Have you any idea what will be in it?
One report is that it's poured cold water on Tony Abbott's paid parental leave scheme, and this looked to be a strategic leak, although there's been conflicting stories about that. Maybe it was just by chance that came out, but it was significant that Tony Abbott in Parliament yesterday was very strong on the fact that he's not walking away from this scheme. He thinks it's good for everybody, and he's not going to be for turning on that at all. Now, I think that was a message as much to his senior colleagues as to backbenchers who've been out criticising the scheme. I think what he's saying is, don't look for savings in this area. This is mine. This is my signature policy. I stand by it.
Well, I'm sure we'll be coming back to that as a theme in the future weeks, but for now, Michelle Grattan, thank you very much.
Thank you.